Good morning, students. In the last class, we have started a new chapter, chapter 3, in which we have known that there are three kinds of public sector enterprises. That is, first one is departmental undertaking, second is public corporation, and third one is government companies. And in the last class, we have started a departmental undertaking in which we have already studied about the meaning, features as well as merit of the departmental undertaking. Now we are going to start what are the different demerits as well as disadvantages of the departmental undertaking. Okay, let's start. The main drawback of the departmental undertakings are: first one is inflexibility. The departmental undertaking work under strict parliamentary control. There is too much interference of the minister and top official. It is treated as one of the government offices. This reduces the flexibility and the efficiency of the undertaking. Okay. Inflexibility means कि there are different type of restrictions were made by the parliament as well as the government. So there is overall control of the parliament, and there is too much interference of the minister as well as the top official. Okay, it is run under the government. So there are different kind of ministers and top officers who already interferes in the process of the development of the any goods. So it is all are the under restrictions, and these type of departmental are undertaking are under the control of the parliament. It is treated as one of the government offices. Okay, it is also treated as the one of the government offices. So the government is always interference in the working of these kind of departmental undertaking. So there is no flexibility is find out, and lots of the burden is over by the government also. So this reduces the flexibility and the efficiency of the undertaking. Okay, when there are too much pressures and control by the parliament as well as the government, so they it reduces the flexibility as well as the efficiency of the any undertaking to be developed as well as to produce the quality product because of too much interference by the government. Second is lack of motivation. The departmental undertaking have no power to utilize their revenue as these are deposited in the treasury. Okay, these kind of uh, these kind of departmental undertaking, they do not have their power to utilize their the income or revenue whatever they earn, because it goes on the under the government treasury. So there is no incentive to maximize profit. Okay, the departmental undertaking doesn't have any kind of incentives or money so that they can enhance and as well as encourage to produce the best quality product as well as to maximize their profit. There is no direct relation between the efforts and the reward. Okay, in which there is no relation between the effort and the reward. That means whenever they do good work, they doesn't get any kind of reward as the private company provide the reward whenever any employee done the better quality of product, better works, so the company will provide the reward. But in the case of government company, there is no relation between the effort, whatever they do good effort, they didn't get any kind of reward. Generally promotion are on the basis of seniority. Okay, the promotion is undertaking in this type of departmental undertaking is based on the seniority, means the one who is senior, he or she will get the promotion. Okay, at not on the basis of efforts, it is not on the basis of the effort whatever the employee is doing, it is totally depend upon the seniority of the employee. Okay, so employee are not motivated to perform their best ability if didn't get any kind of reward or as well as promotion. So employees are not too much motivated to good work, so that they can get the too much reward as well as the promotion. So they are not totally motivated to good to do the best quality product, to do the best incentives as well as work, so that they can the earn more and more reward as well as they also have some promotions. Next is lack of financial autonomy. The departmental undertaking cannot plan long-term investment project. Okay, these kind of departmental undertaking, they didn't cannot plan any long-term project, means ki for 5 year, 10 year or 20 years, as they are subject to budgetary control of the government. They are not allowed use their own revenue freely, as these have to be deposited in the treasury. Okay, because they are the control with the budget of the government. When the government when the parliament passes the budget, they have fixes the amount, so they have to invest it in the departmental undertaking. So there is also a limited amount of money, limited amount of finance, so they do not invest there or for plan their long term investment, because of their all the money, all the revenue, all the profit of the departmental undertaking is deposited in the treasury of the government. It has no independence on the freedom of utilizing fund in its own way. So departmental undertaking also do not have any kind of independence or freedom, so that they can utilize their money, they can utilize their fund for the quality product, for the quality project. So they are not in condition to utilize their fund in its own way. They have to be under the parliament or the government. Next is inefficient management. The departmental undertaking are managed by the government official. These officials are overburdened with the paperwork. Okay, in this departmental undertaking, there is also drawback of the inefficient management, because these kind of departmental undertaking are managed by the government, and the officers or the office of these kind of management is under the too much pressured, or as all overburdened due to too much paperwork. They spend maximum time to answer the queries from the parliament or the ministry. The officer who are doing their job in the departmental undertaking, they are spending maximum time for the to give the answers of the queries whatever the parliament as well as the ministry. They can't be transferred, they can't be transferred anytime. Okay, they are also transferred from one place to another anytime. It is not fixed. As a result, they have less sense of responsibility and efficiency. For this, if anyone individual is working in one place, but there is also a circular came that he or she has to transfer from one place to another place. For that reason, they do not have any kind of stability as well as a sense of responsibility, because they don't know that the how much time uh, they will spare their time in this area. So they have lack of responsibility as well as lack of efficiency. Next is red tapeism and bureaucracy. Red tapeism means कि too much excessive regulation is done by the government. Okay, it is red tapeism, and the bureaucracy refers to the delay in decision due to many formalities. Okay, red tapeism and bureaucracy means कि there is a delay in the decision making because of the too many formalities have to done in the departmental undertaking. The decision in the departmental undertaking are delayed due to administrative formalities, paperwork, procedure, etc. Okay, in this kind of departmental undertaking, the decision which is being made in the departmental undertaking, they all are delayed because of the too much paperwork, too much administrative formalities, as well as there is too much long procedure. For that reason, the any decision of the departmental undertaking is too much delayed. Innovation, bold approach, immediate action, which are essential for the growth of an enterprises, have no place in the departmental undertaking. These kind of that ki too much innovation, that bringing a new ideas as well as taking any action immediately, these kind of work for the growth of the any departmental undertaking does not taken too much seriously. For that reason they are they are ruled with the red tapism as well as bureaucracy, and the development and growth of these bureaucracy does not happen because of the too much formalities and long procedures of the formalities as well as the too much paper work. It result the excessive burden on the officers of the departmental undertaking. Next is in which condition it is departmental undertaking is suitable. So departmental undertaking are suitable in the following cases, that is when utmost secrecy is required. It is suitable when the government of India or government of any country require too much secrecy, that is for defense. It is needed to be a departmental undertaking. When government control is necessary, means what we have to broadcast in the newspaper as well as television and radio. So for that reason, where the government control is too much necessary, it is suitable for the to be as a departmental undertaking. Where huge investment is allowed, the area where too much investment is allowed, for example aircraft, iron and steel, etc., for there it is also required to be departmental undertaking. As well as undertaking is a source of revenue. Means when a government want to excessive means a revenue should be too much high. For that reason it is the example of railway. For that reason also departmental undertaking is suitable. So from this we have completed a departmental undertaking. Okay, the next type of public enterprises is public corporation or statutory corporation. It is also called the statutory corporation. A statutory corporation is a body corporate formed by a special act of parliament or by the central or state legislature. Okay, a statutory corporation, it is a kind of body which is formed by the act of parliament as well as the state or central legislature. Okay, state or central parliament as well as the act of parliament. Through this it is formed statutory and public corporation. It is fully financed by the government. Okay, it is fully financed as well as the controlled by the government. Its power, object, limitation, etc., are also decided by the act of legislature. What are the different powers, object, what is the objective to be a public corporation, what are the different limitations of the public corporation, are also decided by the act of legislature. Means through the legislation, whether it is state or the central legislation. For example, Indian Airlines, Air India, State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, Food Corporation of India, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, that is ONGC. These all are the example of the public corporation where it is formed by the act of parliament as well as it is fully financed by the government, and the control, power, objective, limitations are also decided by the government. Okay, all activities related to the functioning, it is done by the parliament, act of parliament or state or central legislature. There is no role of the private sector because these all are the types of the public enterprises. It is fully controlled by the government of India, whether it is state or the central. Features of the public corporation. The main characteristics of the public corporation are: it is created by the act of parliament or state or central legislature. Okay, we have already studied that it is created by the act of parliament or the state or state or central legislature. The power, objective and limitation of the public corporation are defined in the act only. What are the power of the public corporation, what are the objective of the public corporation, as well as what are the different limitation of the public corporation, it is also decided by the act of parliament. Parliament will decide all these kind of functions of the public corporation. It operates under the total control of the central or state government. Okay, it operates under the control of the state or the central legislature. It is a separate legal entity. It gets incorporated automatically when act is passed in the parliament. It is separated legal entity in which it gets already incorporated mean get registration and start their commencement after when the act is passed in the parliament. When the act is passed in parliament, then it has right to start their commencement and start their undertaking. So all the functions, all the activities is done by the parliament. Okay, it is managed by the board of director who are nominated by the government. So the government of India or the state or central government will nominate the board of directors, and these kind of public corporation are the managed by the board of director who are elected by the government. The public corporation has its own rules of recruitment and remuneration for its staff and the employee. Recruitment means appointment of all the members, all the employees of the public corporation, and remuneration means ki salary whatever the employees get. Okay, so all these whatever the recruitment procedure, what is the remuneration for the employees, it's all decided by the public corporation. Has its own rule. They have their own rule, what is the procedure, as well as what will be the salary of the employees. It will decided by the public corporation. It enjoys administrative autonomy as it is relatively free from political interference, because it is the administrative autonomy means it has control and managed by the self government. Okay, so it is free from the political interference. But when we are talking about the departmental undertaking, it has the too much interference of the political. But in this case there is no interference of political parties. Now the main motive of the public corporation is to service to general public. Okay, the main motive to we have a public corporation is to provide the general service to the public, provide the social welfare as well as the different kind of services like insurance facility, banking facility, airlines facility. These are for the providing the facility to the general public. It is accountable to parliament or state legislature for its operation. Okay, these all public corporation is accountable, responsible for the parliament or the state or the central legislature, whatever they have do their operation, whatever they do have the functioning, it all the responsible for the parliament. It has to submit its annual report on its working, but they have to submit their annual report, what they have done throughout the year. It has to be submitted to the parliament. The account of the public corporation are generally audited by the controller and the auditor general. It is the undertaking so that it judges or auditing as well as evaluation of the account or the budget or the account of these public corporation is checked by the evaluated by the this, it is called the CAG also, CAG. So account of the public corporation which is checked by the CAG. Okay, what are the different merits or advantages of the public corporation? First advantage of public corporation are administrative autonomy. A public corporation is able to manage its affair with the independence and flexibility. Okay, they have the management through the manage its affair, all the activities through the independently, and they have flexibility. Okay. Quick decision: a public corporation is relatively free from red tapeism. Red tapeism means excessive regulation. So public corporation are free from the all the excessive regulation, as there is less file work and less formalities to be completed before taking decision. Whenever any public corporation have to take any decision, they do not fulfill all the formalities, paperwork. So these all are the two independent as well as flexible, and they have taken the quick decision. Service motive: the activities of the public corporation are discussed in the parliament. Okay, whatever the activities, it is discussed in the parliament. This ensures protection of the public interest. Okay, it is basically done for the protect the whatever the public interest. They do not should be exploitation of the public. The interest of the public should be saved and should be provided a protection. Okay. Efficient staff: the public corporation can have their own rules and regulation regarding the remuneration and recruitment of employee. We have already discussed in the feature that they have own regulation for the remuneration, what will be the salary of the employees, as well as the how we can appoint the employees. It can provide better facilities and attractive terms of services to staff. In this, they have provided a different type of facilities, housing facilities, as well as patrolling, different housing, as well as schooling, all different type of facilities also provided by the public corporation. And they have the attractive terms and condition for the staff also, and secure efficient working staff from its staff. Okay. Attractive terms of services to staff to secure efficient working from its staff. They have provided a different kind of better services, so that people or the staff of the public corporation will get motivated and do their better activities and provided the better quality of job. Okay. For that purpose, there different kind of services are provided by the public corporation. Fifth is professional management. Its board of director consists of business expert and also the representative of the various group. Okay. The board of director of the public corporation are the business expert. They have the expertise in the business, and also they have also the representative. They also represent the various kind of group, such as labor group, consumer nominated by the government. Okay. These are the board of director, also the representative of the different kind of group, as well as consumer, labor group. They all also the representative of the group. So these board of director are too much professional as well as expert. What are the different demerits as well as the disadvantages of the public corporation? First one is autonomy on paper only. Okay. The autonomy and flexibility of public corporation is only for namesake. Practically, minister, government official, and political parties often interfere with the working of these corporation. Okay. We have in the feature we have studied that there are too much independence and flexibility in taking the decision, but it is only in the namesake as well as only in the paper. But in reality, the government official as well as political parties also interfere in the working of these public corporation. Okay, they do not left them to work freely, but they also too much interference. They show too much interference by the minister, government officers, as well as the political parties. Second is lack of initiative. Public corporation do not have to face any competition, and are not guided by the profit motive. Okay, we also know that they do not have to face competition because they are the public enterprises. So they do not face too much competition, because too much competition are always faces in the private enterprises and are guided by the and not guided by the profit only. The main motive of the public enterprises or any public enterprises, they do not have the to earning more and more profit. They are opened, they are managed and controlled only for the providing the better facilities and the maximization of social welfare. Okay, so the employees do not take initiative to increase the profit. So any employees of the public corporation does not take any kind of initiative so that they can increase the profit of the public corporation, and ultimately it increases the loss of the public corporation. So the losses of the public corporation are made good by the government. The all losses of the public corporation is done good by is made good by the government. In that condition, the government has to take the different measures so that they can reduce the losses of the government as well as create the more and more profit. So government have to take different initiative, because different employees, they do not take any kind of initiative so that they can increase the profit and reduce the losses of the, but in that time government have to take initiative so that they can reduce the losses as well as increase the profit. Next is rigid structure. The object and power of the public corporation are defined by the act, and these can be amended only by the amending the statute or the act. Okay, all the power as well as object are the governed by the act, and they are only by amending the stat or the act means कि different type of act, it all are the amended when the any act is passed in the parliament. So amending the act is time consuming and complicated task. They do not work any kind of activities or performance through their own until and unless there is no act is passed in parliament. For that person they have to for that purpose they have to wait for the too much time, and it is also too much complicated task because it is done through the too much paperwork as well as excessive regulation by the different government political parties and different opinion of the members. So it becomes too much complicated as well as it is also too much time consuming. Okay, now the next is unfair practices. The governing board of public corporation may indulge in unfair practices. It may charge unduly high price to cover up inefficiency. Okay, the governing board of the board of who governing the public corporation, they also include in too much unfair practices, means that practices which is not good for the any kind of public corporation, but they also do this kind of performance. For that it may charge in that purpose, in that condition they will charge too much high prices so that whatever the inefficiency come in the public corporation, they can cover up and heal all the type of losses. So they in the public corporation they also do different kind of unfair practices which is not good for the any public corporation and the welfare of the society. Suitability, at where it is suitable. The public corporation is suitable when undertaking requires monopoly power. If monopoly means a single control, there is not too much control of the members as well as staff or the government. So in that purpose, undertaking requires when the any undertaking requires the a single power, single control. In that condition public corporation is preferable. In second condition, when undertaking requires special power defined by the act and statute, that means ki when undertaking requires special power, whenever they require too much special power which is governed by the which is done by the act, so in that condition it is also suitable for the to adopt as a public corporation. where undertaking requires regular grant from the government. Okay, when any kind of undertaking, public corporation required a grant or money or different type of incentives from the government, in that condition the for the grant for the government, it is the suitable for the public corporation and to be worked as a public enterprises in the public corporation. It's all about the our public corporation. And the last one is where the undertaking require appropriate combination of public accountability and operational autonomy. Okay, it is also suitable in that condition where the any undertaking, any public corporation is required appropriate. It is appropriate when there is public accountability, means when there is a combination of the public responsibility as well as the operational autonomy, when there is no interference, when there is too much operation, the other one will not do interference. In that condition, it is suitable to do work as a public corporation, because it is the combination of the public, means general public responsibility, as well as the autonomy, means self government, self control in their operation. So it's all about the public corporation. In next class we will discuss the government companies.